Hey there. So today we're going to be talking about ProtonVPN and whether or not it's worth your money. So essentially, this is just going to be a little bit of a review to help you figure out whether or not ProtonVPN is a good choice. So the first thing I like to take a look at, as you can tell right here, I'm already looking into the no logs policy, and I love that the code is open source and anybody can inspect it. And not just that, of course, you've got 2022, 2023, and 2024 independent audit reports done by Securitum, which I believe is a Swiss-based company, and they all result in basically the same conclusion, which is ProtonVPN does not log any of your personal information, and it didn't used to, and it doesn't plan on doing that in the future. Because if you didn't know, ProtonVPN came from Proton Mail, which is one of the safest mail services that you could use. They also have Proton Drive and a bunch of other services, but specifically regarding the VPN, I'm actually impressed. This is one of the best VPNs at the moment. As far as speed, it's really quick. You don't need to worry about your internet speed dropping when using ProtonVPN. It barely affects it. And as far as the country count, this is the biggest country count I've seen so far. The server count is also very impressive. Not many VPNs have that many servers, and it wasn't until very recently when ProtonVPN's library of servers and countries grew this much. You know, just a few months back, it only had a few thousand servers in no more than 60 to 80 countries, but now this is the biggest number of countries out of any other VPN that I've seen, including NordVPN, which used to have, up until now, the biggest number of countries at 111. But now ProtonVPN surpassed that at 112. And all these servers and countries are not just for show. In fact, most of them will support not only torrenting, but also streaming. So let's just say, for the sake of the example, I want to access the American Netflix library, and I can just go to United States here. And you'll notice this little symbol that says streaming, and this one here says peer-to-peer. All I have to do is just connect to one of these servers, and I'll be able to access the American Netflix library, or Hulu, for example, or American Disney Plus, or Amazon Prime Video. And it works with most of the other streaming services and countries also, but the only thing is you might have to switch from one server to another if it doesn't work the first or second time. ProtonVPN is a good VPN for streaming, but generally speaking, it's not the most consistent. But it is a great VPN still. Now, for streaming specifically, I would recommend something like ExpressVPN or NordVPN. But if you just want to access some of the most popular services, again, like Hulu and Disney Plus and Netflix, you'll be just fine. Of course, if you guys have any questions, let me know in the comments down below, and I'll answer all your questions. Now, as far as, again, the privacy policy, the speed, the server variety, the compatibility with torrenting and streaming, ProtonVPN has all of those. Now, again, as far as the reliability with streaming, it may not be the most reliable VPN, but it still works really well with most of the popular streaming services. As far as these settings, there's not much you can mess with here. These are general settings, and you can mess around with them based on your preferences. In connection here, I like to go with smart because WireGuard doesn't seem to be compatible with all of the servers. 7,000 servers is a lot of servers, so for WireGuard to be compatible with all of them, it would probably take a lot of work and optimization and updates to all these servers and so on and so forth. So I imagine not all these servers are compatible with WireGuard. WireGuard, by the way, is the best protocol as far as speed and security. It's the most optimized. So if you were to use a protocol, I would definitely go for WireGuard. Now, if you're not familiar with what a protocol is, just imagine there's a single destination and multiple paths lead to that destination. These different paths will have different terrain, different roads, different environments. And so you can think of it that way. And WireGuard is generally the most optimized one for speed and security. But in cases where the servers do not support WireGuard, you'll have to just go for smart, and it'll reroute it back to OpenVPN, UDP in most cases, as you can tell right here. I selected smart and I chose a server, and it automatically chose the OpenVPN UDP protocol for me. And right here, you've got an option for you gamers out there for moderate NAT, and moderate NAT will help you out if you game online. Now, you can switch your NAT type from strict to moderate if you use this, which is really cool. You can't switch it to open, but if your NAT type is strict and you want to switch it to type 2, which is moderate, you gamers know what I'm talking about. This is the solution here. And there's also custom DNS servers if you want an easy and very accessible way to change your DNS without much hassle. And in advanced here, you'll notice that we have a port forwarding shortcut. And this will basically help you out by speeding up your torrenting and online gaming, as you can tell right here, by allowing supported local apps to be reachable from the internet. So for gaming and torrenting, this is very important. And the fact that it allows for port forwarding is just incredible. Not many VPNs are able to do that due to security reasons, but ProtonVPN is able to pull that off safely. So I love that. Now, the next option here we have is OpenVPN network driver, and you can either choose TAP or TUN. And as it says here, these will impact your connection and speed. The TUN adapter will offer higher speeds, and you can always fall back on the TAP adapter if things don't work out. DNS leak protection is always on. You cannot turn that one off. And this is just going to help keep you more secure online. And here you have a really cool feature that allows for access to the internet still, even when you're in a restrictive environment where there could be firewalls or network issues, or in case Proton websites or services may not be available in your region. As far as IPv6 leak protection and hardware acceleration, I recommend you keep those on. There's just no losing with keeping those on. It's just going to enhance privacy and performance overall. And finally, we've got split tunneling, which will allow you to choose which applications are routed through the VPN and which are not. So let's say I only want my Google Chrome to be affected, and you can add any app here, by the way, and you can also add IP addresses that you want to exclude or include in the VPN. So for example, if I click on Google Chrome and let's just say Firefox, only these applications will be affected by the VPN, while the rest of my connection and applications will be left unaffected by the VPN. And I can also exclude them. So for example, if I want to make sure that my Google Chrome does not get affected by the VPN while the rest of my connection is using the VPN or tunnel through the VPN, then I can just choose this, and I'll be sure that my Google Chrome will stay on the local network. So that will be it for today's video. All in all, I would say ProtonVPN is honestly one of the most solid options out there if you're looking for a very reliable VPN that works for streaming, at least streaming the most popular services out there. It's a quick VPN. It's got a lot of countries at 112. I mean, there's just no more than that, really. And you've got a bunch of features, not to mention the security features that are available here, like Secure Core servers for even safer servers in restrictive countries, and NetShield, which is basically an ad blocker, and the kill switch, which will make sure that you're only going to be connected to the internet while you're secured by the VPN tunnel. As you can tell, yeah, ProtonVPN is a fully fledged VPN, and it works really well no matter what you're looking for. Again, streaming, torrenting, and they're independently audited, so you can be sure that nobody will be able to see what you're doing online, and ProtonVPN themselves will not be handing out your information to any third parties. And that leaves us with a solid recommendation on this one, honestly. I mean, again, if you're looking for the best of the best overall, then yeah, maybe that's not ProtonVPN. I would give that title to something like Express. But to be fair, Express doesn't really have all the options that Proton is offering, except that overall, I would just go with Express because it's easier to use, it's incredibly secure, and more importantly for me, I want to get to watch my favorite shows no matter where I am. And ExpressVPN allows me to do that incredibly easily. But again, Proton is still, I would say, a top 5 VPN, especially that there's the moderate NAT feature. I haven't seen this in any other VPN where you're able to change your NAT type, so I really like that. So that'll be it for this video. Again, you'll find all the links in the description down below if you want to try Proton or Express out for that matter. And if you have any questions, feel free to drop them below as well. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.